a jeep, a drone, and an old man.
All right, guys, here we are for Battleship Texas Photo, should I say it? Archaeology, Volume 3. Here we have a photograph of men loading one of the 5-inch guns. And if you've been on the Battleship Texas before, you can probably pretty much locate where you are on the ship and which gun these gentlemen are at. Let's enlarge this rascal and find what we can find in this photograph. Maybe a little bit bigger. We get a little bit blurrier there, but let's stick with that for right now. Let's start down here. So obviously we've got a couple of the 5-inch rounds there. We've got a gentleman here holding a round, getting ready to load it. I see nobody holding powder at this point, but that will definitely come in later. I don't understand. Let's back out of this picture for just a second here. None of these guys are in uniform. This guy back here in the background, he's in uniform. None of these guys operating the gun are in uniform. So are we talking about maybe not actual naval personnel, but a repair crew that's on board? Not really sure. These gentlemen are not in any naval uniform at all, it doesn't appear. Let's enlarge it again and get back into it. We'll go up to 400 just like we were. Get back over here in the corner. So once again, we've got this gentleman with a 5-inch round in hand, several 5-inch rounds here. Now, I don't know, and I'm not sure if any of you know the markings on these rounds, these stripes. I don't see a stripe on that one, but I'm assuming, well, maybe I do right there. But I'm going to assume it has the stripe just like the rest of these. If any of you know what that means, that may be a practice round. I don't know. Any of you guys know? Leave it in the comments. We'll figure it out, hopefully. Let's scoot over here a little bit. Now, this is one of the things that really interests me about what's going on in this photograph. This round here, you'll notice it does not have the stripes like these other rounds do. And it appears to be hanging from a rope. Don't have any idea what the reasoning behind that would be. It appears there's got a rope tied around it there, going up in both directions, and maybe sitting in a bracket, or that may be the rope around the bottom of it as well. Any of you guys that have been in the Navy, does this ring a bell to you? Do you have any idea what that round would be for? Or if it's a round, if any of them are rounds, they may be all practice rounds. This one may just be a dummy solid round for weight purposes. I don't have any idea what that would be for. Let's scoot on over here a little bit. Not really a whole lot to see there. Look at the size of these bolts, though. That's one hefty ship. Now let's move up some, see what we can find. This gentleman's wearing a ring. That's his right hand, so it's not a wedding ring. Maybe a naval ring. I'm really confused as to why none of these guys are in uniform. But that guy appears to have some guns on him, i.e. muscles. Is this a powder man here? This guy is obviously naval. He's in uniform. This is a really confusing one to me, fellas. Y'all are going to have to help me out with this one. Do not understand at all why these guys are not in uniform. No caps. T-shirts are wrong, pants are wrong, everything's wrong. I'm assuming they have to be a repair crew and not actual naval personnel. Maybe after having done some repairs on the gun and now testing it out to make sure their repairs are going to work. I don't know. This guy, now I do have a question about this. Let me back out a little bit here, just a little bit. And some of you guys may know the answer to this. And I should know the answer to it because I've been on the ship so many times. I've had plenty of chances to look down at the bottom of this gun where it meets the deck at, but I've just never really thought about it before. One of these is for elevation. On the other side, you've got one for rotation. Now, as this fellow rotates this thing, the gun's going to go left, right. Does he have to walk as it rotates, or is he on a platform that's going to rotate his body? I don't know. I'm going to find out next time I have the opportunity to get on the ship, though. I like the body brace here. I've seen the shoulder braces for the deck guns that go around the shoulders for the smaller deck guns, but I've never seen this brace for the gentleman to lean into. He's on the target, and on the target sight. Let's enlarge his back up so we don't cover too much at one time here. This guy, I don't know. Does he look interested or does he look bored? He looks pretty bored to me. And what is this? Is that just a flaw in the photograph? It appears to be running back this way. Or that's a pipe on the ceiling. So what is this? Is this? I don't recall anything on the guns like that. It may just be a water spot or a flaw in the photograph. This guy's getting on target, which, if these are repairmen checking the gun after having done some repairs on it, I'm not sure what he'd be targeting in on unless they're out at sea and they are firing live rounds. These lights, as you know, are red. And that is all I see in this photograph. So the two things that confuse me, let me zoom back out again. Two things I have questions about that some of you guys can probably answer for me is why are out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in the photograph, 5 of them are not in any sort of uniform whatsoever. So why is that? Number 2, why is this shell hanging down here on that rope or wire cable or whatever that is that it's hanging from? And I guess number 3, why is this shell different from those? Is this a practice round and those are live rounds? I don't know. Somebody answer that question for me. All right, let's take a look-see at our next week's photograph. I'll leave a link in the description for next week's photograph if you want to download it ahead of time. Take a look at it. See if you can find anything odd, different, strange that I may miss when I cover it in next week's Volume 4. This even looks more like a water spot now that I'm zoomed out. Here we've got next week's photo. The link to this photo you will find in the description. This is labeled as being on D-Day aboard the Battleship Texas. Looks like it's going to have a lot of information in it. a lot of faces with a lot of stories. I hope you guys take a look at this one before I cover it. I'm sure there's going to be things you find in this that I do not. So for right now, it's been a Jeep, a drone, and an old man. Look forward to seeing you next time.